Now that we have all of our stuff ready for our monster, let's go ahead and check on our plate. Hey, that's dry. Pretty fast, right? So if we did it right, our plate should be dry by now, but if your plate is not dry yet, I recommend that you just wait, maybe pause the video, wait for it to dry, and then hit play once it is. But my plate is dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick it onto my black paper. So I'm gonna have to find my glue stick, and I want it to be in the center. So I'm actually going to take my glue stick, take the cap off, and I'm going to go right onto my black paper, right in the center, and put down glue in a big circle. You could also put it on the back of the plate. I just find this a little easier so that the plate keeps its shape. And then you can press down in the center. Now we can start gluing down our different facial features of our monster. I'm going to be doing the face with the smile and the teeth, so I'm actually going to set my other mouth off to the side. And I'm going to start by pasting down my eyes. Now I want to do the big ones first. So I'm going to put glue on the back and paste that down for where I want the eyes to be. So I want one eye to be there, and one eye to be here. But again, you can decide where you want your eyes to be. They could even be slanted or really any size you like. Then I will paste down the other parts of the eye. So those pupils that we did, or the iris. You can have the monster looking cross-eyed. Maybe the eyes are looking in two different directions, or maybe they're just normal. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take my nose, put some glue on that, and then I will paste that where I want the nose to be. So I want it kind of right between the eyes there, and I will just press that down really hard so it stays. Last but not least, I need to do the teeth. Now, I'm not actually going to draw the mouth first because I want the monster's mouth to look really organic and kind of silly. So I'm going to paste down the different teeth of the mouth. I'm going to put one here. Put some glue on the back and put one in the middle. That already looks really fun, so cute. And then I will put one on the left. And I'll hold that down. And before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and take my Sharpie and draw in the mouth. So you can take a Sharpie or a marker as well. And on the top, if you did a closed mouth with teeth like me, you can just draw a line over the top of your teeth, connecting them all together. You could even put little smile lines on the ends. That's just two diagonal lines. If you want to add any other details, maybe you could add nostrils on the bottom of the nose. You could even add eyebrows. If you saw our little green friend and our orange friend, they both had eyebrows. See, they have kind of thick eyebrows at the top though. But you can do any kind that you like, thick or thin, big or small. If you want your monster to have eyelashes, you may absolutely add in some eyelashes. All right, that is looking pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and put my marker off to the side, and now I am going to go ahead and glue on my legs and my arms. Now for the arms and legs, this part's going to be a little tricky. You want to find first Let's start with our arms. Find an end of your arm. If you did an accordion arm, maybe just try and find one of these little edges here that you can glue. Put glue on just the end. Take your arm, flip it over. You're going to have to put it underneath your monster plate a little bit. Then press where you put it down. You're going to do that for the other arm as well. Put some glue on the end. Sneak it into the other side. And then press down. Now the arms and the legs are bigger than the paper, which is on purpose. We want that. From here, you can take your arms and you can gently bend, don't fold, but gently bend the arms in towards the plate. That way it kind of looks like they're waving or they're waving their arms around. If you did fingers on your monster kind of like this, you can also bend them around even more to make them interesting. From here, we can go ahead and pick out our legs. For me, I'm going to have these ones here. So again, I'm going to put a little bit of glue down on one side. Flip it over, kind of sneak it underneath my monster, and then press down. And do the same thing for the other side. Now, if you find that your arms or legs are just really long and you think you might want to make them shorter, that's fine. You could, at this moment, take your scissors and cut off any extra long pieces. For example, for me, maybe I don't want my legs to be this long. I could take my scissors, find a good spot, and just cut off the part that I don't want. Okay, it's coming along. But what will make our monster look more like a monster? Well, if we remember from our examples, all of my monsters have horns on them. So look at our little green friend. Look, he's got horns. Ooh, our orange friend, he also has horns. His are a little bit off to the side though. He looks like he's waving. And then our pink friend, she has different kinds of arms, but she has wavy horns. So I want you now to go ahead and find a piece of paper, colored of course, for your horns. Now I've done a lot of orange here for my arms and my legs, so I'm gonna try and pick a different color entirely for the horns. I'm thinking I might wanna do maybe yellow. I could do blue again, sort of to match my nose, but I do wanna try something different. I want a different color. Ooh, I could even do pink to sort of match the eyes. Let's see. So you can do this too. You don't have to commit to a color. Maybe hold it up to your monster and see, hey, do I actually like how this one looks? I'm thinking I might want to go with the yellow might be good, but pink is also nice. I think I might want to do pink just so that it matches the eyes. So you can take a marker, a pencil, whatever you like, and you can draw any kind of horns that you want. If you want to draw, and I'll show you on another piece of scrap paper. Maybe I'll show you with the blue. If you want to draw spiky horns like the green and the orange monster, you're just going to draw a really tall triangle. And you'll draw 2 of them. If you want to draw wavy horns like the pink monster, you would just draw a wavy line up and a wavy line down. And you can draw 2 of those. You could, of course, have 2 completely different horns for your monster. So you could have one that is like a spike and one that is wavy. For this monster, I think I want to do spiky horns. I'm going to do them both in pink. I want them to be very tall. I'll go ahead and cut out the horns that I want. So So again, keep all those little scraps. You never know when you're going to need them next. I'm going to cut off a piece of that white. That was there from when the paper was being held together in its pack. And then for the horns, you can choose if you want to glue them onto the paper plate or behind it, kind of like how we did the legs and the arms. Oh, how interesting. I actually have accidentally made 3 horns here. I think I'm going to use these 2 because those are the ones I actually wanted. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take my glue stick. I'm going to put some glue on the bottom of the horn. I'm going to stick it, I think, behind my monster this time, onto the plate on the bottom. And I'll do that for both of them. So I'm sticking it underneath the plate and then pressing down. All right, he looks kind of like a monster now, doesn't he? Now we get to decorate our monster. So we are going to do some designs on the inside of the monster's face with paper, and then we're going to break out our oil pastels. For this part, for the designs inside the monster's face, you can use any scrap paper you have left over. So I'm actually going to use now a little bit, I think, of the yellow paper that I wanted to use. And for this part, what you're going to do is you can just take your scrap paper wherever you're at, and you're just going to cut up little tiny pieces. You don't want them to be super tiny, but you want them about this size. So not small like a sprinkle, a little bit bigger than that. Now you don't need too many of these. We just want a little bit. All right, I think this much will do. I'll set those off to the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue. You're going to have to be real careful for this part. Take our glue and stick them onto our monster's face, kind of like if they had scales or a pattern of fur. So just be real careful for this part. You've got this. You can stick them wherever you have room on your monster's face. Now, if any of them accidentally fall off, that's okay. You can just take more glue and stick them back on. Maybe they just needed a little bit more glue. Get some there, paste it down. And do the same thing with all the little pieces. You can use all the pieces if you want, or if you decide, hey, I think I'm actually good, I don't want to put any more, that's fine too. This part, it's kind of up to you how many you want. I decided I think I wanted quite a bit, so that's why I'm putting down so many. You can see that bright yellow really stands out against the blue. All right. Once you have that all glued down, that's actually our last step with our paper. So you can put your glue stick off to the side, put your scissors away, and we are going to take out our oil pastels now. If you don't have oil pastels, crayon or color pencil also works super well for this next part. Alrighty, so with your oil pastels, if you would like, you may add designs as well to your monster's arms, legs, or even on the face. For the pink monster, I believe I showed you guys that she has some wavy lines on her arms. So this is an optional thing. You don't have to do this part, but you could take a color of oil pastel and draw a pattern onto your monster's arms. There we go. And legs. But that is up to you. Now, what we're going to do next is we are going to add patterns into the background. So all of my little monster friends, they have a pattern in their background because they are having a lot of fun. So you can choose between swirls, you can do polka dots, you can do different kinds of lines. Whatever the case, let's all start with one color. So go ahead and pick a color of oil pastel. You can do any color you want. I'm gonna do light blue. First, I want us to do swirls in our background. So I want you to take your oil pastel, press hard, and add some swirls in your background. Now you don't need to fill up your background with these because we are going to do different shapes in just a moment. So just add maybe a couple here, a couple there. Don't have to put them everywhere. Okay, next I want you to pick a second color. I'm going to choose orange this time. We're going to do swirls again, but make these ones a little smaller. So go ahead and do some more swirls in your background. Okay. Then I want you to put your oil pastel back into the box. And I want you to pick a third color. I think I'm going to do pink this time. Now I want you to make spots everywhere. Now try not to go over your swirls, just put some spots where you have room. Okay. You can make them big, small, you can have some big and some small. You can go underneath the monster's leg or arms to make them. And last but not least, put that oil pastel away and pick out one final color. I think I'm going to do green. With this final color, I want you to do short little lines in those last little spaces if you've got room. And this will be our last step. All right. Now, if you want to add anything extra right now, you can. Like you could add shoes to your monster. You could add, different designs and patterns. I'll add some shoes just to show you, but from here on, it's up to your creativity. Now, for shoes, for my little guy, I think I am going to use blue. I'm going to actually use the paper for the blue that we had before. And I'm going to draw two really big ovals. I'll cut them out. So again, this is an extra thing for if you want to add extra stuff. If you wanted, you could also turn these little monsters into like a garland. You could connect them with a string. You might have to punch a hole on either side of them instead of pasting them down to a paper. That would be pretty fun. You could also do a completely different background for them. So you could make like a bunch of these and maybe they're all friends. Or you could turn them into puppets or even cute little masks. You could decorate your door with them and that would be super fun. All right, so this is what our little monster will look like with shoes. You can see I'm just taking the oval, we're sticking it down. Now this one, I have a little bit of the horn from before when I was showing you. So he has a little bit, it looks like he's wearing a sneaker on one shoe, but maybe a sock on the other. Which is pretty funny. I think monsters would not care either way if they were wearing a shoe and a sock at the same time. So there is our finished project. Let's see what all of our monsters look like together. So here's this little guy. He's pretty wacky looking. Here is our pink friend and our orange friend and our green friend. Oh, so many little monsters that we've made today, you guys. So I hope you had a lot of fun. There's a lot of different fun, creative things you can do with these guys. So make sure that you share whatever monster you create. I would love to see them, especially if you make a lot of them. Again, I hope you had fun, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.